Did you know that Africa is the second largest continent, holding a population of approximately 1.5 billion people? But it is said in such a large number, we still seem to be lagging behind in nearly all the things that we do. But what could be the reason of all this? My audience, join me on this journey as I try to uncover some little things that could be the reasons of who we are today, of who we were yesterday, and of who we could be in the near future, of what our offsprings could be if we do not give ourselves the chance to unlearn and to learn some of the little things that could not make sense to you right now, but could be the reason of what our mindset is today. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode. Welcome back to the road back home. I'm really disappointed because I had pre-recorded this interview. Actually, not an interview, but this video. But unfortunately, I don't know what happened in my last recording. So when I went through the video, it was lacking some audio voice. I think it's because my microphone had died off, so the power was finished, so yeah, my voice was gone, while at least it was showing that I was still speaking. So yeah, all the same, welcome back to another episode. Welcome back to the podcast welcome back to the channel that shares the beauty about Africa and that encourages Africans who are out there to be proud of our continent and to think back of investing back home, to think back of building somewhere where we can fall back on when we want to go back home, right? It's the time for us to relearn, to learn, and to unlearn some things about Africa that are stopping you and me from prospering and from seeing the Africa that we dream of building some other time, and that time is now. So today, what am I going to talk about? Today I'm going to talk about the general misconceptions about diaspora. If I am to ask you, what is one thing that you've heard about diaspora? That maybe by chance you have been able to go to the diaspora and you found out that, oh my God, this was literally not true, that the way people said it. Or you could be still back home and you still have your little dreams. I'm sorry, not as little dreams as such, but you still have your dreams inside your head, which you just think, oh my God, that day when I go abroad, I'm going to see this diaspora life. In Zimbabwe, they would say kuchando because it's cold. So yeah, let's share in the comment section down below what you think or what have you been told. And yeah, please just be truthful enough. If there's something that you have been told and you have found out that it was totally different, like what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start sharing my story. So before coming to South Korea for my studies, I actually thought that going abroad means there is easy access of jobs, and it's the moment you get your job, that means of course more money is flowing. You no longer you have shortages of money like that frequently or something like that. Then here comes, I found myself, I came to South Korea, I'm studying, and part-time job, where are you? And part-time job, I looked for part-time job, and part-time job was nowhere to be found, my dear brothers and sisters. And unfortunately, it's not unfortunate, but it's fortunate I was not the only one. So I was able to relate that this was not like my fault, but it was a fault that was happening to everyone, right? So something that was just happening to everyone around me. To claim that going to diaspora, don't have dreams that if I go abroad, then oh my God, jobs are going to be coming knocking at my doorstep, and oh my God, I'm going to get a job, I'm going to make money, I'm going to, like, all those are just some dreams. The honest truth is, most countries, yes, some countries do give part-time jobs to their students, which is true. But the honest truth is, the industries are really limited. That is number one. Number two, the jobs are not that friendly. Don't think you're going to get like easygoing jobs and all that. If I'm to say, like here in South Korea, many students actually do what they call like factory work, and I would never wish on anyone to do factory work. That job is just difficult. I have seen children or students, actually, children seems like young now, but I've seen students who have developed some health issues because of this factory work. I have seen students who have gotten some permanent injuries because of these factory works. Actually, in my university, there was one student who actually got his arm amputated, like to be removed, because there was an incident that happened at the factory and it affected him. And students are generally not allowed into these areas, so that means you don't have any insurance claims on these so-called owners of these factories. But at the same time, I wouldn't blame him, because when you come, actually, for you to get a job, it's really difficult. For you to get a part-time job, it's really difficult. So most students are left with no options. Whatever they get, they just go for it, especially for us Africans. I just have to be true about it. It's really difficult for us to get a good work, to secure a good workplace, because of race and all those type of issues, which unfortunately is going to be a long time for such narratives to be changed about us, you know. So it's really difficult, and it's something that I just want people to be frank with people, that if you are coming abroad, be ready to work extra hard. I have seen students who don't even sleep because they work in the evening till morning, and they also have to go to class. And trying to balance all these, it's just difficult. You start seeing that life is not easy. Life is not easy, but at the same time, in my head, I just imagine some things are not that difficult if we were to implicate the same effort that we put when we go to so-called diaspora. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, you know. Then after you get the money, the thing is, it's not as simple to gather money or to save money. Why? Because the amount of money that you get, which could be In your eyes, you kind of feel like, oh my God, I'm getting a lot of money. But the truth is, the money just fits the standards which people live here abroad. Why? Because living costs are so expensive. Food costs are so expensive. If you have watched my last video, I was sharing about even how for you to buy fruits, you have to think twice. Why? Because it's so expensive. For you to buy vegetables, you have to think twice. But sometimes you don't have an option because you want to be healthy. That's why you find that, like, yeah, in Korea, many students would survive on things like ramyeon and all these things, and they are not good for their health. And some people really do. Some students really do start to suffer from health conditions, health problems, and all that. There is something about this system which people really don't tell you about. For example, if you come and study here, you have to pay monthly health insurance. You might think, oh, Liana is always just talking, she's just blabbering things which are not true and all that. If you can see that, some things, yeah, I would have to cover, but yeah, if you can see that. That's 76,391 per month. In this amount of money, for you to get it, I think maybe you need, like, I don't know what kind of work you'll be working, but sometimes you might even need a week for you to get this amount of money, and you just have to spend it on insurance. What about gas bills? What about your monthly rent? What about if you actually get sick, you have to go to the hospital and you have to pay. It doesn't mean if you pay this, you are spared to be given free health or health medication and all that. It doesn't work like that. So all these things are things which I wish, we're really out there to let people know. If you are thinking of coming to study abroad, you want to see for yourself, because many people I know, even if I'm to speak like this, people think, I want to see it on my own. Yeah, come, find it out on your own, but at the same time, be prepared for the things like this, meaning at the end of the day, you don't have anything to serve. That's why many people are scared to even go back home, because they don't have anything to show for it. Why? Because you will not have anything to show for it, because you don't have enough savings to make things to show for it. That's number one. Number two, some people become really fortunate to get some jobs, or maybe they are maybe like on scholarship or something like that. They work and all that, and they are able to make little savings. Now, the mistake that we make, many people make the mistake that now you get money, you want to show off, you want to live this high life that you cannot even afford, or maybe you have so-called friends, which I'm really, Africans, I think we really do have to be mindful of where we come from. Well, it doesn't mean that if you're coming from Africa, things are not well off at home or something like that. It's not like that. But at the same time, be sure to always remind yourself that the systems of Africa and the system of your friend who is coming from the US are totally different. I had a friend at one point of time, she was studying, and basically it's like she was studying for free because she was being sent like student loans. I don't know how it works, like student loans and all that. And she was just studying and being sent money, and the money that she was working her part-time for, she was just squandering it. And I found myself sometimes being called, oh, let's go and have fun, let's go and do this. But I wouldn't say I was clever enough, but I'm grateful that I have been able to continuously remind myself of the purpose why I'm here. So many times I've seen people who go out of track because they are having fun, or they are trying to meet some standards that they do not match, right? And now they are trapped into maybe debts, they are trapped into working extra in order to satisfy these kind of standards that they have set for themselves. And mind you, some standards that we set for ourselves, they are really traps. They are difficult for them to move away from the moment you try to show people that, oh, this is who I am, and maybe you fail to match it up. It's really difficult for you to come out in the open and say, no, guys, this was difficult. But you're actually made to stick to the game and continuously play according to the rules that you would have set for yourself. So yeah, these are some of the misconceptions about diaspora, that if you go abroad, jobs are knocking on your doorstep. If you go abroad, you become rich because you're being paid a lot of salary, but people don't tell you that, yes, there could be good salaries, but the salaries just match. Yeah, people just don't tell you that the money that you're going to get is going to match up the living expenses that you have to face every month, and some countries even every week. I've heard in Australia people have to pay like their bills every week, which, yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, and many other misconceptions that we have been told or that we have heard. I really do wish people could understand the power of being in an environment where you are appreciated, the power of being in an environment where you are allowed to grow, in the sense that people appreciate that your skin color doesn't determine maybe like your outcomes or something like that. The power of being in an environment which you are just able to be confident because people around you, they see that you're also like them, not being in an environment where people look at you and they see like they're seeing another kind of human which doesn't like, which is not part of this planet or something like that. To be honest, it really does demoralize you, and it really does, sometimes if you're not careful, it even shrinks your confidence, to the extent that sometimes you find that if you move abroad, to some extent it's a setback. It's like one step or two steps backwards, because the time that you have to take to settle, the time that you have to take to be adapted or to be welcomed into these societies is just a lot. Some people are fortunate to be welcomed. Some people are unfortunate not to be even welcomed at all till forever. The difference is some people are able to see it and they move on, but some people are not able to see it and they settle for what is less, and they settle for things that even like decrease their morality just for the sake of maintaining the status that they have left back home, that, oh, I'm in the diaspora or something like that. So yeah, today let's make it fun. Please, let's share these things that we've been told about diaspora. Please be honest. Let's speak about it. But when you're speaking about it, keep in mind that you're just not speaking, but I am hoping to educate one brother or one sister who is back in the mother continent, to let them know some of the things that are hidden, maybe because of people's selfish reasons or many things like that, which I do not know, right? So yeah, I think it's high time for us to talk about this. And lately I've also been thinking, I don't know, what do you think, to bring out these ideas in form of a writing so that people are constantly reminded, especially the youth of Africa, to embrace our continent in every sense way possible, and to also not be blinded from some of the things that are not really told about going to diaspora. If you have stayed this long till now, please click the subscribe button to stay tuned for every content that I have promised to release every Saturday, and to have a community that embraces Africa, a community that is ready to remind one another of the gold that we do have in our arms as Africans, but we have been blinded by many reasons, which some reasons are not even our fault, right? But we are here to awaken one another. We are here to hold our hands strong and to build and change the narrative that some people might thought was buried forever. But let's bring it to life now, and let's change Mother Continent. Till we meet again, have a good weekend. Bye.